to the things that he was going to do as far as operating this way station on the Underground Railroad.
That is something else.
As you can see, the house is decorated in furnishings from the period that Jacob Burkle would have lived here, with the items here that does not have all of the modern conveniences, of course.
This is something to see, and and as you can see, I barely have a loss of words, but just through the experience that I've just gone through, having heard about Slave Haven for years and having the opportunity to be here to see it is something that is amazing.
But during this time, he had the secret operation going on that was helping slaves to escape. And of course, it had to be secret because he certainly would have been killed if he had been discovered. So he had to keep everything undercover, underground.
Do we have any idea of the number that may have came through?
When we look at the Underground Railroad map, we get an indication of the relative numbers that came through this particular area.
Here in the entranceway, and I'm looking at this picture, and I can remember years ago I heard that the hurricanes that come down from off of the Ivory Coast, and that those hurricanes, if I'm not mistaken, it was my grandmother that told me this years ago, and she said that the reason why the hurricanes come is because the slaves that were thrown off of the slave ships, the spirits of those slaves would wind up in the water, and that's what would actually create the hurricanes in the sea. And as we know here, that the hurricanes are so devastating here, especially given that Katrina just came through. Is there anything that you could tell me about this, what I've just mentioned?
Well, Drew, when I was in Africa, in West Africa, the Africans actually told us the same information, that they believe that is the cause of so many hurricanes that originate off the west coast of Africa. But the painting here is on exhibit, and it is a very powerful painting. The artist Babatunde wanted it to be placed on exhibit here because he was so fascinated with the museum. And we do have prints available here if others are interested in it, but it is a wonderful piece that depicts the spirits of the Africans who were thrown overboard.
And Ms. Turner, also, the same pathway that, because my grandmother told me this as well, the same pathway that the slave ships took in the ocean, these hurricanes pretty much take the exact same pathways. Is that correct?
That is what I understand, that it is basically the same path of the slave ships that came from so many years, 300 years coming from Africa.
Amazing. I mean, just to even within my wildest imaginary to see this picture right here with all of these spirits of the slaves, and you can see as they come out of the ocean, this is amazing. This is so amazing.
Its roar is to warn threatening bachelor males from other prides to stay away from